Light Up the World starts to roll from the back, and Light Up the World unleashed by MacDonald, and he goes right by them all. Light Up the World picks up the pieces late. Light Up the World by 2 lengths. Crackshot second. Mad Noakes third. 148 and 3 for Light Up the World.
You're talking to James MacDonald about 2 of his horses that he has coming into Pepsi North America Cup night. The one who made it into the final, Light Up the World, and the one who opted not to race in that race, Chantilly. First, let's talk about Light Up the World, the fastest Pepsi NA Cup elimination winner. Heck of a race. Talk about that race, talk about that trip, and your thoughts on his performance.
Oh, it was a wild race, wild dash to the lead early, and the race kind of shaped up how I thought it would. I was hoping maybe I could get away a little closer or be in a little better spot. Obviously, the goal was not to get away last, but the horse was just spectacular. He swelled up in the last turn, and when I realized they were kind of getting tired and I flipped him over, I was hoping he would do what he did, but you never really know. And the second I moved him, he launched, and it was a lot of fun. I've been really high on this horse since I qualified him, and I think it was him and Prince Hal in their first lifetime starts where we're both just absolutely flying home, and he's been a special horse, and hopefully he can add a big chunk to that bank account next week.
In the Sunbeam Summer, you had him first up, and last week you raced him off a helmet. What's the best trip for that one?
He likes a helmet, but he's fine on the front too. Like some beach, I end up first up. But I've raced him on the front, and he likes it. Like he'll just idle. He's a perfect gentleman to drive. He's 2 fingers. He'll settle on the lead and then just snap like he's covered up when you ask him. But obviously off a helmet, he showed what he can do too. So he's pretty versatile. I'm just going to have to see how the race looks like it's going to unfold and make a decision from there. But it's a great quality to have, and last year having Legendary Hanover in the final, Legendary kind of did what he wanted a lot of the times, and I had to be okay with it or manage it. And this year I have a full deck of cards, so which hopefully that means I can get him in the winner's circle.
I'm going to get back to Legendary Hanover in a second. One thing you mentioned in your interview last Saturday, you said that you thought your performance in the Sunbeam Somewhere didn't necessarily set you up for how you would have preferred to be thought of going into that race. And I thought that was an interesting comment, because I was thinking you'd want to be a little bit under the radar and not have the target on your back. Why did you want to have the target on your back and have people think that this horse was the horse to beat on Saturday night?
I think anytime you get the respect of all the other drivers, it's important. A lot of times you'll float out, and if they're not high on your horse, they might shut you out. Whereas if they're really high on them, they might drop you in, and you're in a better spot to follow you. And sometimes that's all it takes between winning and losing is good positioning. And when I drove him, in my opinion, poorly the week before, and set him up to be a kind of 8-to-1 horse, then it kind of took a card out of my hand, and I had to either go or not go. And when I chose not to go, I thought maybe I was in a bad spot, but like we said, it worked out the way it was supposed to, and then it ended up being a great race.
And obviously this race sits close to the top of your bucket list. You mentioned Legendary Hanover last year with these same connections. How much does it mean to you to have a second shot in back-to-back years with this race, and not only to have that second shot, but with the same trainer that has obviously put so much faith in you?
It's Tony and I had such a great year together last year. He could tell he was having such a high on NA Cup night, and I was kind of bummed out. And I'll never forget, he said to me, I went to the Nijinsky party at his barn where they had a barbecue, and everyone was happy, and I was the only guy there, just kind of meh. But Tony took me aside and he said, soon we're going to be having a Legendary Hanover party, and it didn't take long to wait because he won the Meadowlands Pace a couple weeks later. So I know Tony's got faith in me, and I got faith in Tony, or have faith in Tony, and I have a ton of faith in the horse. And if the trip just sets up, you got a field of 10 great horses, you need everything to go right, and there's, in my opinion, it's a race where there's a ton of different horses could potentially win it. that just means I gotta do my job, and I know if I do my job, I know the horse and Tony are gonna do their job, and you could see us in front of the grandstand in the winner's circle after.
And talk about the job that Tony has done, obviously with this horse and his horses in general. He's a defending cup-winning trainer. He had Nijinsky and Legendary Hanover in here last year, and now he comes back this year with the fastest couple limb winner. Clearly a talented 2-year-old. Didn't have the resume that some of the other accomplished 3-year-olds had in this race going into it.
Oh, Tony's the best. He's the best guy in the world to drive for. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he just happens to be a fantastic horse trainer as well. So it makes my job easy. He puts no pressure on me ever. He hands me the lines, tells me the horse is good or bad, and do what you think. So and he's a horseman. He's a real horseman. So if things don't go my way Saturday, obviously he's going to be disappointed, but he's not going to throw himself or cause a scene, or it's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to be James is a horrible driver. It's going to be, that was a horse race, and unfortunately this horse race didn't go our way, but it makes it that much easier when you have that kind of attitude going in, because I know how happy he'll be if we win, and that's obviously the number one goal. And Tony's just he's Tony. He's a quiet guy, reserved, but he's a fantastic horse trainer, and I wouldn't want to be driving for anyone else in the NA Cup.
Your thoughts on the draw, and based on the draw, do you have any inclination as to how things will shake out, and if they will shake out like they did in that action-packed limb last Saturday?
Well, I think the draw sets up for potential for it to be a kind of a wild race, but then you gotta be on your toes in a race like that, because a lot of times you think it's going to go Western, and it's a very tame, Luprin or someone removes to the front, gets low fractions, and it's a boring race. So you got to be ready for what the race gives you. I know I preach that all the time. Just kind of take what the race gives you, and that's my mentality going in. I was hoping to not draw outside both the limb winners, and I didn't. I drew right in the middle. Obviously, I think Luprin will be the favorite, and having him inside me makes it a little more challenging. But just drawing 2 through 6 by being a limb winner is a big deal, and it really took the pressure off sitting there for that post position draw, and I knew we were going to be in a great spot. So I'm happy with the draw, and hopefully that means we can get the job done Saturday night.
Now let's shift over to the filly, and before we get into discussing Chantilly and her race, let's talk about the filly not being in that race with Light Up The World, because I know you were part of the discussions that George and Nick had thinking about what was happening and where the filly would go. If you can, give us a glimpse into what you expressed to the connections that helped them choose to go to the Fan Hanover instead of the NA Cup.
I think it was across the board. It was a pretty. We were all in agreement. We wanted to do first and foremost what was best for the horse. That's the great thing about driving for Nick and George, is they always put the horse first. And like Tony, they're great to drive for. But George, I think he really wanted to do something special and make a splash. And I really think if you were ever going to do it, she's probably the horse to do it. She's unbelievable. She's just a dream to drive, and it's been a fun ride with her. But my stance on it was I just don't want to end up in a bad spot, drive her hard, and have it maybe cost her some money against the girls down the road. And that in no way, shape, or form is a knock against the competition she's racing against Saturday night, because she might not even be the favorite. Like Mickey and Minnie's unbelievable filly, and then it's a group of super talented horses. So my thought process was let's do what's best for the horse, and but at the end of the day, I'm driving her wherever she's entered. So it was tried to leave it up to them as much as possible.
How was Chantilly on Saturday night, and did her effort there give you any hesitation for the decision to not race her against the boys?
She was amazing, like she always is. She's a professional. She's 2 fingers to drive. She's the same way. She can race on the front. She can race first up. She can race from last. She's just loves to race and loves to pass horses and loves to win. So obviously it would have been a big headline and a lot of fun to race her against the boys. Do I think she could have beat them? Absolutely. I think she's that kind of horse. But I just hope for her that the trip works out Saturday and she can show everyone what she can do, and kind of leave that question mark in everyone's head. Maybe she could have thumped the boys.
And I know you briefly touched on it after the race last week, but what were your thoughts on that other elim and how it sets up for that first matchup between these two divisional winners, U.S. champion Mickey and Minnie and Canadian champion Chantilly?
Well, I think, like I said in the interview, I think it's just people think Dexter Dunn just ends up on the best horses because, he's Dexter Dunn, and I think that was just a perfect example of what makes him great. He drives all these great horses, but he doesn't drive them like they need to win every start. He drives them the way they're in a manner that they can improve off of and they can build into the next race. He knew that his filly's going to have to be as good as she can be going against Chantilly, and she had a bit of a stale date, and he drove her exactly how I wanted to drive Chantilly. It's just I had to take what the race gave me, and that was what the race gave me, and the race gave him an absolute dream trip. A horse that's already didn't need any confidence, but is beaming with confidence heading into the Fan Hanover, and it should make for a heck of a race. I'm really excited for it. I'm sure Dex is really excited for it, and there's money on the line, but we both want to know who's number one.
And obviously it's a big night for Canadian racing. How much does it mean to you to not only be a part of it, but the part of it that you are on the likes of horses of Chantilly and Lite Up The World?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going into a big stake card with the great horses in every division, except the roses are red. My mare got injured, but it's just it's an amazing card, an amazing atmosphere. It's going to be a big crowd like it always is, and I just can't wait to get on the track and just try. And there's no better feeling than winning a race, except for winning a big race, because it's just a rush of adrenaline. It's you've done your job, the horse has done their job, and it's just it's a real rush of emotions, and I'll never get sick of it. I know that.
Well, keep up the good work, James. Thank you for your time as always, and best of luck Saturday night and going forward.
Thank you very much, guys.